Hello, welcome to Speaking Magic. This training is all about how to help lead people out of their old identity and show them what's possible when they step into their new identity. I'm Patty Keating, founder of the Entrepreneur Unleashed, and I help powerful women amplify their visibility, attract premium clients, and generate consistent revenue doing the magic that only you can do. I'm so excited you're here. If you're watching me live, say hello. If you're watching the replay, comment replay. I'll come back. I love to connect with you. Today is going to change how you see your own voice. Not just that sound that comes out of your mouth, but the energy behind it. This isn't about learning to give a talk. It's about becoming the woman whose words change lives, whose words change the room that she steps into, because you already have the experience. You already have the message. What you're craving is the power, the presence, and definitely the clarity to make people feel it so they can say yes to your offers. So, my course, Unleash Your Speaking, was created for the multidimensional, big-hearted entrepreneur who refuses to shrink her voice into safe, forgettable sound bites, but hasn't had the tools to do that. You are here to speak with truth, to lead with vision, and to sell with the kind of confidence that feels like service. You've done all the outdated business tactics and rules. And really, deep down, you want your voice to be your most powerful growth strategy. You want to be able to speak about what you know, speak to the people who need what you offer, and have it really land. And that is a powerful growth strategy, one that's aligned with who you are. It's not the performance or you determining who you think you should be because you're in business. No, today we're unlocking speaking magic. And that's the ability to lead people out of the identity that's holding them back and into the one that leaves them ready to take action inside a single conversation. When you master this, your audience will experience transformation before they ever invest with you. And that makes you unforgettable because you're not just sharing more information, you're changing how they see themselves in real time. And isn't that the key to creating what we want? Shifting how we see ourselves, shifting our identity, shifting our beliefs. Yes. So by the end of this session, you will be able to identify the current identity your audience is living from, then paint the picture of who they are becoming so it feels real to them, and then break down those beliefs that keep them stuck. From there, we anchor in the new identity so the next step feels inevitable. They're already there. And you're not just going to learn these steps, you're going to experience them today so that you know exactly how they feel and how to recreate them with your own audience. So let's get started. I want you to take a minute, picture someone from your audience, one real person who you've worked with or who maybe you want to work with. And now answer these two questions. Write these down because you'll be able to refine this. You'll be able to use this right away. Who are they right now? Who are these people? And when I say who are they, what I mean is not, they're a 40-year-old woman living in the suburbs or whatever, right? Who are they in their identity? And write about it. Take a minute, right now and write about that. Who are they? Now, who will they become after they've fully experienced your work? So write that down. You just need like some short phrases to remind you because you know these people. This is the work you do. You lead people from where they are over to this new way of being. So just a short phrase or a few words for each of them. Now, look at those two identities side by side. So if you're looking at the who are they right now, whatever the words were that you wrote down, and then you're looking at the who they became after they experienced your work side by side. The gap between those two identities is the work you do. That's what you speak to. This is where speaking magic begins, in the gap. When I first started speaking, I did not see myself as a speaker. My identity was that I helped other people succeed. So I had been behind the scenes for some big names, helping them create thriving, successful businesses. That's because that's where I saw myself. That was my identity. When I decided it was time to leave that role, because I was so frustrated in the way things were going, and yet I wasn't the person in front. What was actually happening was my new identity was calling me forward. There were things out of alignment for me because I had not yet said yes to the person my soul wanted to become. I didn't think I was ready. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think there were a lot of things that I thought about myself being unready. And a deeper part of me knew. And so I stepped into, when I left that, I had to cut the ties in order to make the change. That's what worked for me. And then I had to make money right away because I just gave up my safety net. And so I knew in my heart I wanted to speak. So I stepped into the identity, the new identity of a speaker. Now, when you first step into a new identity, and when your clients first step into a new identity, it's not easy to integrate it. That's why they need you. That's why they need your coaching. That's what you're actually supporting them through in your programs, is the transformation, locking that transformation in. So when I first stepped into this new identity, I would shake on my way to give a talk, even if it was a talk for a networking group with 10 people. And I had notes and I could feel my hands shaking as I stood up to deliver my 10-minute presentation. And on that car drive, I would promise myself that I would never make myself do this again. Why? Because I was uncomfortable. I had no references for what I was doing. I had no experience. The only thing I had was a desire and a deep knowing that I was meant to show these people the potential they held in their life. And so I just said yes. Now, when your clients say yes, it's exciting at first. They make a decision. It's done. I'm doing it. whatever you're helping them through. They're doing it. They see themselves. They've said yes to working with you. And then after they've done it for a little bit and it's uncomfortable, they'll start to move back many times because we like our comfort zone. Right? And now that the excitement's done and the fear has taken over in many examples and many times, right? We just want to go back because shifting our identity into a new level isn't a straight line. It's like this. It's like this. And on the highs, we're like, yes, I did it. And then all of a sudden, it's like, wait, why am I not feeling that way anymore? That's why your coaching programs are so valuable because you're holding the belief in your clients until they are able to expand their capacity to believe in themselves and maintain it. So they can expand their capacity and believe for a while, many times, and then they can't maintain it. But when you are there saying, oh no, remember, you've got this. I'm with you. Let's work through this. Let me coach you. Or if they're in a group, like a mastermind or a group coaching program, and the rest of the group sees them in their new identity, there's belief built in so that when they start to feel like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm confused. That's what happens. That's what comes up many times. There's someone else there to remind them, to believe in them. And the number one thing people want is to be seen, to be understood. So this is what you're doing for your clients. You're holding that belief for them. So it's important that you know the answer to these two questions that we just covered. Who are they now? And who will they become once they've fully experienced your work? And then you speak to that gap. That's the problem. That's the bridge you're building for them. Okay? So, one reason people avoid speaking is that they think they need to be perfectly polished. Oh gosh, did I ever do this? My slides aren't right. I would spend days on my slides. The font's not right. The color's not right. Maybe I should change this word. And I see that over and over. People avoid speaking because they think they need to be perfect. It's not true because your audience doesn't connect to perfection. That's not what it's about. They connect to your presence. They connect to your energy. They connect to your belief in them. My best talks have been when I've thrown away the script. So, what do you do if you just throw away the script? I remember walking into a Rotary meeting and I had my talk outlined, scripted, ready to go. And I looked around the room and it was not the room that I had expected. And I knew this was not the talk for that room. And so at that point, I had two choices. I could deliver my talk as agreed upon, knowing that, well, that didn't go very well. That's up for that group. Or I could do something that would help the people in the room. So being a coach, we can always coach. You can coach one-on-one, you can coach one-to-many. So here's how I open my talk. So I have a question for you. What's the most important thing for you to accomplish in the next 60 days? And it was an older crowd, mostly male, liking to chuckle and, oh, right, say things off the cuff. So I got a little bit of that and I stood still and quiet and said, seriously, what is it? And then when you do that with the audience, because I was staying in my presence, I was staying in the energy of I am a coach and I am going to help you get a nugget today and be able to apply it. And so when you're in front of an audience and they see you being vulnerable, somewhat vulnerable, asking a question, nobody's participating, or they're kind of poking fun at you, right? Like, well, the best thing that could happen to me is, the rain would stop, or I don't know, silly things. There's always one person, I've never had this not be true, who will say, I would like to, and they tell you, I would like to expand my insurance company, is what the man in the room said. And the somewhat hecklers calmed down, and I began to coach. And you can always coach. And I said, okay, so let's all think of one thing you would like to expand in your business. And here's my question. What would an expanded insurance agency look like? Give me some numbers. How many other agents have you brought on? How many people are being enrolled each month? What's your retention rate? I have a business background, so I ask business questions. You have a background, whatever that is, use that background and ask the questions that you know that people need in order to close that gap we talked about. And I delivered my talk. I talked about ways that he could get the results he wanted. And what I was ultimately doing was fine tuning his vision. Most people don't take time for their vision. They get caught on the hamster wheel and it's like, well, we got to get this done. Well, we got to get that done. Yeah, but where are you going? And I challenged them to think about where they are going. What are they creating? Who is the person they want to become? And what would he do right now? It was all males, a bunch of old guys and their dads. Who does he want to become? What is he leaving for his family? We got into the questions that a life coach would ask. Because coaching always comes back to life, whether you're coaching business, health, right? Whatever it may be, relationships, it all comes back to your life. So this was not scripted. It was definitely not polished, but I was present. I was present with the audience. And I have an intention in every room I speak, including right now here, that the viewer or the audience member will get a nugget inside that talk that will help them think about something differently, that will take them closer to the truth of who they are and what they want. And when you have an intention like that, people can feel it in your presence. So I want you right now to think of a time you felt really certain in what you were saying. Maybe it was with a friend, maybe it was when you were coaching, maybe it was in journaling, but you were certain this is my truth. And then close your eyes and think for just for like 15 seconds and remember what that felt like in your body. That certainty. And then write down the words that come to mind that describe the feeling that you had in that moment in your body. Write it down. Drop it in the chat if you'd like to share it. And if you're watching the replay, I will come back and respond to what you put in the chat. That energy that you're feeling right now is more powerful than the perfect script. And it's available to you every time you speak. Certainty. Knowing who you are, what you stand for, what your gifts are, and sharing them. Okay. So, presence over perfection. That's the first thing. Number 2, another common belief people hold is that speaking is great for visibility, but you don't get clients from speaking. In fact, you probably want to book yourself as a paid speaker if you want to get any money out of speaking. But the truth is, speaking with identity shifting language moves people into action faster than any other strategy. So I want you to imagine your audience member. Just imagine them. Imagine speaking to them not about where they are right now, but as if they're already living in the future identity that you wrote down in step 1. They are already there. Now, take them with you. First, write down the sentence, or write it down. Or sorry, imagine is what I told you to do or asked you to do. Imagine speaking to them as if they're already in that future identity, and then write one short sentence you would say to them. So perhaps it's something like, you're already living with the clarity that you're searching for. Or you already have the business of your dreams, in my case. Going back to my example, I could have said in that talk to the insurance agent who wanted to grow his agency, you already have the agency of your dreams. What's happening? What is happening throughout your day? How many hours do you work? How many agents are part of your agency now? How many clients do you serve? How many vacations do you take? What are you doing with your family? Where do you live? What do you wear? You can come up with these questions. They apply to the vision you're speaking into reality for your client. Okay? Drop it in the chat if you want to share. Writing will solidify these things for you. If you're watching and going, oh, this is good, I'm going to do this at some point, you're missing a huge opportunity. So write it down on paper, put it in the chat if you'd like, put it in the comments, wherever. What would you say to them? This is called future pacing. Okay, number 3. A lot of people think, I don't really have anything unique to say. Like other people are already saying what I say. Like I don't know. I don't know how to stand out. But your uniqueness isn't in inventing a brand new information. It's in how you connect to your audience's experience. It's in how you connect with them through your experience. That's unique. There is no new information. It's just recirculated and reorganized and regurgitated, right? Two people can teach the same skill, but only one of those two might move the audience because the audience feels it. Because the audience feels it. This is where you dig into your experience, your stories. What would you share? Write down an example that you can use. I've been using examples, pulling out the time I spoke to the Rotary Club, right? The different things that have happened to illustrate what I'm teaching. What will you use? Take a minute. Think about the new identity that you are helping people move into. What's an example of a time you stepped into a new identity like that? The thing you're teaching, the thing you've mastered, the thing you've learned. Like my example of becoming a speaker. What's your example? And it doesn't have to be polished. Remember, we're not here for perfection. It doesn't have to be scripted. It will come to you like, oh, I have an idea. What about this time? When that happens, trust it. Trust that your lived experiences are enough for your talk. Because they are. In fact, they're more than enough. They're the thing that most people don't do. They're the thing that the top speakers get feedback on. That's the best talk I've ever heard. What does that really mean? I really felt that. Oh, that was a good one. It landed in my heart. You don't do that with bullet points on a PowerPoint slide, unless you're adding story. I'm not saying you can't use a PowerPoint. But what's really reaching people is the connection inside your story, the emotion, the energy, the presence, how you're being with them. So, whatever stories are coming to mind, jot them down. You'll be able to use them. And I want to remind you that this doesn't have to be live and on stage. This can be in your social media as well. This can be in your social media stories. This could be in a reel. This could be in a written post. It's all speaking. So let's write down now one sentence that describes the transformation that you create in a way that only you would say it. What is the transformation that you create? I help people get unleashed. That's a broader statement. I can break that down into all kinds of categories. I help them get unleashed by shifting their beliefs, by creating new identities, by curating a community of buyers, by learning to speak to sell, by raising their consciousness and their self-awareness, by shifting their energy. Like there's many ways. What's that for you? Let's make your signature system sentence. I say signature system so often that it just wants to come out. But this is not that. This is your signature sentence. And drop it in the chat if you'd like. I'd love to see how your unique energy comes through in your words. And if you have trouble with this, many times increasing your self-awareness will open up your uniqueness. That's what we do in the E-Code. We look at your Enneagram personality style. We look at your life purpose numerology. We look at your core values and we look at your experience and we pull it together to create your unique avatar. The combination of all of those things tells you, and it doesn't really tell you, it informs you or reflects back to you who you are. When people see that, it resonates. They look at it and say, oh, wow. One of the things that people will say in an E-Code session to me is, could you say that again? When I pull it all together and reflect it back to them, who they are, what they stand for, what their platform is, what they're here to do in the world. They're like, it's so much to take in the truth of who we are that many people say, could you say that again? Like, that is crazy. It's so big. So that happens because it's the truth. And that's what people want to feel. Have you ever maybe followed someone or looked at joining a program and you really like what they're saying, but there's something about them? Mm, I don't know. I like it all makes sense, but there's something about them that's usually incongruence. Either they're trying to be that polished, perfect speaker, and you're feeling like something's off, or they're just not a great fit for you. It's like, I don't think this person will work well with me, which is okay. And in fact, that's what we want. We want people to feel this so they can say yes or no. This isn't just about people saying yes. We want the wrong people to say no. What we don't want is for people not to say anything and for people not to make a decision. We want to be so real that people are like, I want to work with you. Or, oh, she is not for me. That means you're not being mediocre in the middle. So your sentence that describes the transformation you create in a way only you would say it. And let that become your signature sentence or one of them. A sentence I use, which is the tagline for my company, is be real, take a stand, change lives. And that pretty much sums up what I do, A to Z. Be real, know who you are, go deep, let go of the shame, the have tos, the shoulds, the beliefs that tell you that there's something wrong with being who you are. Take a stand, know what you stand for, know who you serve, know what you deliver, let the world see it, be visible, get out and speak, be on social media, go to events, whatever you're going to do, change lives. That's the outcome. Because at the end of the day, my mission is to change lives. What's your mission at the end of the day? All right, let's move on. You can keep playing with that after. Your audience's objections. Let's talk about those. Your audience's objections are almost always rooted in their current identity. So we've got their current identity and we've got their future identity. So if they're saying no, or not even no, if they are, usually an objection isn't a no. An objection is I need more information. Otherwise, they would just say no. That's not an objection, that's an answer. Objections are questions that come up for them when they want more information. And they're asking themselves, will this work for me? Will this work for me? So this is your opportunity to help them. So their questions are rooted in their current identity. So if you want to shift them, which we do, we name the belief. First of all, we name the belief. And then we show them what it costs to keep that belief. So, for instance, the beliefs that people have are, well, I don't have time for that right now. I don't have time to do this. I really want it, but I'm going to have to wait until I can make time. Oh, that's not really true because right now, so well, we'll go into that in a minute. So it might be, I don't have time. It might be, oh, I don't have the money for this right now. It's another one rooted in their current identity. In my bank account, I don't have the money for this right now. So that's who I am. I am a person who does not have enough money to do the thing, right? That's a belief. Or I don't know if this will work for me. I mean, I think it's a really great program or offer, but I don't know if I'll actually do it. You know, I've joined programs before and then I just stopped showing up. So I don't know if I'll actually do it or not. Okay. So what are those beliefs really? Well, it's not that you don't have time for it. It's that the way you're using your time now is anchoring in the identity of who you are. When you change the way you use your time, you'll change your results. How does that work? Right? That you're opening them up when they're like, oh, this is where we talk about, wait, what? That's the sign that a belief is beginning to be shifted. Wait, there's another way of thinking of this? Yeah, there is. And the answer, the opportunity is always in the objection. I don't have money for this. The way you're using your money now is not allowing you in your mind to invest in what you want. You can always find money. And you can always work out arrangements. So it's not really about money. Because didn't you just go out to dinner and on a vacation last month? Not not judging it, but that's how you chose to use your money. So this is an identity. I'm a person that doesn't have enough money to grow myself. I'm a person who doesn't have enough value to invest in myself. That's what money objections are. But what if you invested in yourself and changed the trajectory of your life forever and created experiences and money and a business that is beyond your wildest dreams because you shifted what you believe about yourself? What if actually you're a person who always has more than enough money? Does anybody have more than enough money? I mean, that can be the reaction because it's so locked in. The belief is so locked in. But what if it's not true? What if it's just a belief that is so anchored in to your audience members' experience that they see no other way? And you'll know it's a belief if it happens over and over again. Yeah, I missed that. I wanted to do it, but I didn't have enough money. Well, it's not really that you didn't have enough money, it's that you had a belief that you don't have enough money. There's a lot of money out there. And when you decide that you're a person who always has more than enough money, guess what happens? You start taking different actions. You start selling more. You start believing more. You start serving more. And the money comes in. And then the third one, I don't know if I'll actually follow through. I've done this before and just stopped showing up. That's a belief that you're small. I play small. I don't complete things. Who am I to complete things? I'm just small. Big people complete things. I'm not a big person. I'm not accountable. I'm not in integrity with myself because who am I to be that powerful? At the end of the day, all of these beliefs come down to power. Who am I to powerfully own my time and create exactly what I want without working hard? That's not what I was taught. Who am I to always have more than enough money? I'd have to give up my belief about struggle and hard work. What? It's okay. You can stay there. You can keep that old belief. But if you're coming along with me on this journey, we're going to create and anchor in a new belief. That's what you're doing. That's what all of you are doing. We think we're selling these things, increase your health, improve your health, right? Create an ideal relationship, right? Grow your business. But what we're doing underneath that as coaches is identity shifting. They have the desire, or they wouldn't be in your audience to do something. So that's the first step. The desire is calling them. The question is, will they do the real work of answering the call, which is shifting the belief? Are you guys feeling this? So you name the belief. Next, we want to show them the cost of keeping it. How do we do that? We take that belief out into their future. If you keep not showing up, for the thing you say you want, how likely is it? Let's just go out 3 years and you're still not showing up. Let's take a peek at your life. What's going on? Let's go out 5 years. Nope, still not showing up. What's manifesting in your life now? Oh, illness, being out of alignment with my truth, relationship troubles. I don't know why all this is happening. Really. That's a result of playing small and being out of integrity with yourself. Let's go out 20 years. Let's go out to the end of your life and you're still playing small and you played small the entire time. How'd that go? So you show them the cost of keeping the belief. And then you show them the opportunity of replacing it with a belief that supports their future identity. What if you believe this? What 3 years from now, what would be happening if you showed up using the belief, I play small, I don't show up, right? 3 years, you showed up, you took action, even and especially when it was uncomfortable. You did the thing. And that next day, you were so proud of yourself. And in that pride you had, you spoke differently. You connected differently. Now what's happening 3 years out? How's your health? How are your relationships? How's your bank account? Wow, I didn't realize holding back. I was trying to get things right. I was trying to be perfect. Okay, well, that makes sense. But the question really comes down to, are you willing to change that now? So you replace it with a belief that supports their future identity. You're just bringing them along. You're showing them. So here's your assignment right now. Pick one objection that maybe you hear from your audience and write it down. What's the biggest objection you get? It's usually one of the three I mentioned. Okay, now write down the new identity statement that would make that objection irrelevant. For instance, well, I'm just not ready yet. Okay, what if you were ready? Because now you are a person who takes action immediately without being ready. Oh, you'll see that people will be like, oh, and here's what they'll say, one of two things usually. That's a really good question. Or I hadn't thought about it like that. That's your work. That's the response we want. Because now they've allowed themselves to remove themselves from their identity, their old identity, and they're playing with the new one. And that's when they'll say, yes, I want to do this work with you. If I've gotten this much value out of one talk, imagine if I worked with you for 6 months, for a year. Who would I be then? These are the exercises for you to do. Imagining the future identity, speaking to it, breaking beliefs, anchoring in the shift, and bringing that into a talk, and it will convert consistently. That's what we build in Unleash Your Speaking. So before we end, let's anchor in your shift. Close your eyes for a minute, unless you're driving, but you know not to, so I probably don't need to say that. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself delivering a talk to your audience where every word you speak lands. They're leaning in. You see the look in their eyes change from when they first got there, like, wonder how this is going to go to. Oh. And they're looking at you. They start to believe in the person they're becoming. And then they say yes to your offer because they already feel different. The transformation is underway. That's what speaking magic is. And if you want to go deeper into this, we start Unleash Your Speaking in September. So now you've seen exactly how to structure your speaking, bring in the magic, right? So your audience listens differently. What you're doing, there's a lot of things you're shifting. You're shifting the way they hear. And you can see how those small shifts happen in how you present, how you tell stories, and how you connect. That's what makes people lean in instead of scrolling away or like texting on their phone during the talk, right? And you can take what you learned today and run with it. Some of you will. Like, this is speaking magic. Many of you will leave inspired, then get pulled right back into the noise of business as usual. I don't want that for you. Because what you just learned today, this is a starting point for you. If you start applying it, you will see a difference. And if you put yourself in a container where you're around other people who are doing it month after month, day after day, then that anchors in who you are, not just something you tried. So I'd like to tell you about my mastermind, if that's okay. We have 5 minutes left. If you don't want to hear, pop off. I hope this provided value for you. You got a nugget that you can go out and apply right away and get results from. And if you'd like to stay, I'm going to talk about my Unleashed Mastermind. This is a private, high-touch space where we take everything I've shown you today and embed it into your business until speaking, selling, leading feels like second nature to you. Right now, you might feel like you have incredible gifts, but your audience isn't fully hearing you. You're not attracting enough of the right buyers into your world. Or you've been piecing strategies together, trying one thing here, another thing there, without steady momentum that you know you could have. Inside the mastermind, you become the woman whose presence commands the room, whether it's on stage, on video, in a conversation, wherever you are. You'll know exactly what to say, more importantly, how to say it, because we're not scripting things, to move people from interest, wait, what? That's interesting, to investment without pushing them and definitely without performing. You'll have content, messaging, and positioning that makes your audience think, she's the one I've been looking for. You'll step into the identity of a trusted leader whose business is consistent, it's scalable, and deeply aligned with who you are. When you join, the first 3 things, core things you get that will change everything is weekly mastermind calls where you get high-level strategy and everyone gets a hot seat. I keep my groups small because I'm in the game with you. So everyone gets a hot seat to solve your biggest business challenge of the week in real time, to celebrate the wins that you accomplished and to set your commitments for the next week. You'll leave each call with a plan you can use immediately. The second thing you get is 2 private retreats where we work together and play together in person to plan, refine, and grow your business at a pace that feels aligned with what you determine and powerful. They're immersive, they're transformational, and I've been told they're unforgettable. Third, and this is actually the very first thing we do, the E-code profiling system, which gives you your personal business blueprint because we do a deep dive into who you are. You'll know exactly how to leverage your strengths, your voice, and your energy for sales, for leadership. We're always growing our leadership, and we're always growing our audience. And that's just the start. You also get private coaching between calls, access to my entire library of trainings, and a kind of network. The women in this group are so connected, and it's by application. So I'm very selective about the right people joining the group. And this is where I take everything I just taught you and a lot more and turn it into your way of leading, selling, and serving every single day. We refine your message until it becomes magnetic, making it impossible for people to miss you, the right people to miss you, making it purposeful for the wrong person to miss you. We'll master your voice and presence. So your conversations, your posts, your communities you build, your offer lands with impact. And you'll lead with confidence in a high-level curated circle of powerful women committed to big results and real freedom. You'll have support, clarity, and strategy to move faster than you probably have before without sacrificing your personal alignment or energy. So it's not like, okay, go do this structure this way right now. No, we craft it out for you. It's by application only. We keep the group small, as I said, so every member gets that depth, the attention, and the momentum that they came for. So if you're feeling the pull, I'll drop a link and we can hop on a call and we can talk about where you are, where you want to go, and if this mastermind is right for you, if it's really the right container to get you to the next place that you're going for your next chapter. I'm going to drop a link in the chat so you guys can. Did that work? I don't think so. And if you have any questions, you can message me. But the easiest thing is just to pop on a call and see if it's a fit. And I will see you on our next training. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, be real, take a stand, and change lives. Bye for now.